right, let's break it down. UFC 322 at Madison Square Garden. A night where legacies were cemented, hype trains got back on track, and a certain Bellator fighter decided to stage his own main event in the crowd. We got a lot to get through. This is the final word. We start with the opener. Benoit Saint-Denis versus Dillon Danis. This wasn't a fight. It was a detonation. 16 seconds. That's all it took for the God of War to land a perfect left hook and send Danis face first to the mat. My verdict? Saint-Denis is right back in the driver's seat at lightweight, and opportunities are opening up. For Danis, after 3 KO TKO losses in his last 4 fights, the questions get a lot harder. Next up, the former King's return. Leon Edwards looked solid in round 1 against Carlos Prates, landing a takedown, controlling the action. But then round 2 happened. Prates uncorked a straight left that was a thing of beauty, becoming the first man to ever knock out Leon Edwards. Some guys have power. Prates looks like he's hitting people with a taser. The verdict? Prates is a legitimate, terrifying problem at 170. For Edwards, a 3-fight skid is a crisis. The comeback trail just got a whole lot longer. Then we had Michael Morales versus Sean Brady. This was supposed to be a classic striker versus grappler test. It wasn't. It was a demolition. Morales looked like a giant in there. He walked Brady down, clubbed him with a right hand, and finished the job. It was a Francis Ngannou-type performance. My verdict is simple. A new title threat has arrived. Morales is now 19-0, and he looks like the real deal. I'm here delivering the final word after every event. If you want the definitive take without the hype, make sure you're subscribed. Now, the co-main event, the super fight. Shevchenko versus Zhang. This was billed as the greatest women's fight of all time. It ended up being a brilliant, dominant, and let's be honest, slightly boring masterclass. Shevchenko was bigger, stronger, and her fight IQ was off the charts. She completely neutralized Zhang. The verdict? Shevchenko cemented her GOAT status. And we all learned a valuable lesson. Weight classes exist for a reason. And in the main event, Islam Makhachev put on a clinic. JDM's corner was begging for a finish. But as Chael Sonnen noted, he'd only thrown 31 strikes in 20 minutes out of the 25-minute fight. It's hard to get a finish when you're not fighting. Makhachev's game plan was genius in its simplicity. He chopped at the legs to kill the movement, then used his wrestling to smother JDM for over 19 minutes. The verdict? Makhachev is the undeniable pound-for-pound king, and now a 2-division champ. As for his call-out of Kamaru Usman, ambitious, and I love it. The main card was all finishes until the co-main and main event, but the prelims had some incredible stories. Let's start with the hype train. Bo Nickal came in with a lot to prove after his first loss, and prove it he did. He showed improved striking, nasty elbows in the clinch, and then landed a picture-perfect head kick KO on a BJJ world champion. The verdict? That humbling wake-up call worked. The hype train is back on the tracks, and his post-fight promo was something else. But the story of the night might be Ethyn Ewing. He took this fight on 48 hours' notice against an undefeated knockout artist and was a massive underdog. And he didn't just win, he dominated. My verdict? A star is born. You have to respect that kind of grit. Elsewhere, Erin Blanchfield got her revenge, becoming the first person to ever sub Tracy Cortez in the UFC. Kyle Daukaus grabbed his second straight sub-minute finish, and Pat Sabatini put on a grappling masterclass. A fantastic night of fights. And of course, we had the Dillon Danis situation. Look, when you poke the bear, or in this case, an entire team of bears, you can't be surprised when you get mauled. Dana White banning him was the only call to make. A night of dominance, upsets, and some classic MMA chaos. My final word? UFC 322 delivered. What was your biggest takeaway from the night? Let me know what you think in the comments.